Hi, my name is Tom Abbott, a clinical senior lecturer and consultant in anaesthesia at Queen Mary University of London. I'm the chief investigator of the perioperative platform trial, or PROTECT platform for short. Surgery is very common. In the UK, we would expect around 5 million surgical procedures to be carried out every year. And while surgery is very safe, around 1 in 5 to 1 in 6 elective surgical procedures result in some form of perioperative complication. Things like wound infections, heart attacks, strokes, and kidney injury. These are strongly associated with reduced long-term survival. And the aim of our research group is to identify new interventions to both prevent and treat complications after surgery. We do this with clinical trials, but the current paradigm of the parallel group randomised trial is both time-consuming and expensive, because often multiple clinical trials are required to be undertaken in sequence to identify and develop a new treatment. This inefficient design impacts the recruitment of patients into clinical trials, which can take many years and delay the introduction of new treatments into routine clinical practice. We hope to change this paradigm and make clinical trials more accessible and deliverable with the perioperative platform trial. The idea of the perioperative platform trial is to provide a research infrastructure that is available to test new interventions when they become available. In this illustration, we show the first 3 interventions that we are testing on the PROTECT platform: the PROTECT HFNO trial, the PROTECT Aegis trial, and the PROTECT Diversity trial, followed by the PROTECT Space 2 trial later next year. The aim of the platform is that these intervention comparisons will run concurrently. Patients will be screened for inclusion into the platform, and then those that are eligible to take part in any of the interventions will be offered the opportunity to consent and participate. The benefit of the PROTECT platform is that interventions are able to enter and leave the platform during the course of the project, which makes it very adaptable and responsive to new emerging interventions that may need to be tested in the future. The inclusion criteria for entry into the platform are very broad. We are including patients who are adults and undergoing surgery who are able to consent. Initially, we're focusing on elective surgical procedures, but that will be broadened subsequently. And this allows us the flexibility to undertake intervention comparisons for specific patient groups, for example, major abdominal surgery or orthopedic surgery. But we could also focus on specific phases of the surgical journey, for example, preoperative interventions, intraoperative interventions, or postoperative interventions. We are opening the platform with 3 feasibility intervention comparisons. Firstly, the PROTECT Aegis trial, which is led by Dr. Caroline Thomas from Leeds University Teaching Hospitals. This is focusing on patients undergoing elective major colorectal surgery with an anastomosis. And the intervention here is oral ibuprofen for 5 days after surgery compared to usual perioperative care. And we're evaluating whether this can impact pain outcomes measured by the overall benefit of analgesia scale and some other pain outcomes, as well as other feasibility outcomes in 200 patients. This is funded by the NIHR RFPB, and it hopes to provide feasibility data to support a larger clinical effectiveness trial. We are also running the PROTECT HFNO trial, which again is focused on patients undergoing major abdominal surgery, but not limited to colorectal surgery. And here the intervention is high-flow nasal oxygen for at least 4 hours after surgery, compared to usual perioperative care. Here we're seeing whether this can impact feasibility outcomes and respiratory outcomes focused on postoperative pulmonary complications. This follows on from the PRISM trial, where we evaluated whether continuous positive airways pressure could improve respiratory outcomes after major surgery. But we found issues with intervention compliance related to patient comfort, and our patient and public involvement work suggests that high flow oxygen may be more palatable and comfortable for patients. Thirdly, we're undertaking the PROTECT diversity comparison. This targets all patients who are adults and can consent undergoing surgery. The intervention here is a multilingual consent process compared to the standard consent process for research. And we're interested whether this can impact participant diversity characteristics across the sample, with the idea that participant diversity in clinical trials may be limited by language barriers relating to the consent process. And so we hope that offering consent in multiple languages may improve the diversity of our clinical trial samples. If anybody at a UK centre watching this video is interested in taking part in the PROTECT platform, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can contact the trial management team using this email address, or please don't hesitate to get in contact with me directly. Thank you very much for your time.